Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to be working on page 38. And we are going to be working on using the area model and using that multiplication to show the equivalence of two fractions. So we need to focus on using area model and using multiplication to show those equivalent fractions. So I'm going to zoom in on these first sets of problems for 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D. We are working with 1/3 first. So I'm going to rewrite this here as 1/3 equals 2/6, just so we can see it a little bit larger on your screens. We are going to make an area model of 1/3 first. Okay, we are going to make a area model of 1/3 first. So I'm going to be making 1/3. I am going to be shading in. I'm going to be shading in this portion here to show 1/3. And we need to start thinking of multiplication. What do I need to multiply 1 times what equals 2 and 3 times what equals 6? It's going to be the same number. And you should come up with 2. Right? 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. So we are going to be cutting this in half here. And now we have 2 rows, so I know that this is accurate, that this is 2 sixths, right? Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we have 2 shaded, so 2 sixths. Awesome. So I'm going to work on B, but I'm going to want you to finish C and D on your own. So let's work with B here. I'm going to rewrite this as 2/5 equals 4/10. And we need to make an area model here. It's going to be a little bit of a smaller one. Sorry about that. But so we're going to make 2/5 here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 2/5. Perfect. Now, the most important thing is we got to look at the multiplication side. What do we need to multiply here? 2 times what equals 4 and 5 times what equals 10. Same number. And it's definitely going to be 2 again. So I know I'm going to have to cut this in half. All right. And that leaves us with 2 rows multiplied by 2. And that's going to leave us with 4/10. All right, that equivalent fraction. I would like for you to try C and D on your own here, and I would really love for you to use that area model, use that multiplication to help us determine our equivalent fractions. All right, so pause the video. I'm going to be working and then get back to it once you're on 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4D. All right, we're going to continue here, and this time we're not using area models. We're just going to be using that multiplication to create these equivalent fractions. So we can use any type of multiplication to create these equivalent fractions. So I'm going to rewrite 2/3. And I am going to multiply, let's do by 3 here. And I'll get 6/9. And there's our equivalence. Pretty simple here. For B, with 5/6, I'm going to rewrite it as 5/6. Then I'm going to multiply. Let's do something big. Let's do 5. Why not? And it'll be 25/30ths. All right. So the equivalence is still the same. It's just I'm multiplying and cutting it into smaller units here for times 3 and times 5. So I would like for you to finish 4C and 4D on your own. So pause the video, finish that, 4C and 4D, and we'll move on to 5. All right, so let's go on down to the last portion of our math homework today. And here they are asking us, hey, we need to determine if there are true number sentences here. And if they're not true, we're going to correct those that are false by changing the right-hand side of the number sentence. So that fraction, the second fraction. So what we're going to aim to do is we're going to see if these are true statements and see if they are actually true. and if they're equivalent. So we're going to know that by multiplying here by the same number. So I know 2 times 2 makes 4, but does 3 times 2 make 6? No, it is 9. So this is a false statement. So instead of that 9, we need to change it to a 6 to make the statement true. So it was false, but I just made it true by switching it to that 6. So now it's true. So let's do the next one together and let's see if this is a true statement or sorry, a true number sentence or a false number sentence. And if it is false, we need to change the second fraction. All right. So let's go with 5/6 and 10/12. And we need to multiply. It looks like 5 times 2 is 10, so this needs to be 2 as well, and it is. So 6 times 2 is 12, so this is true. All right. I'd like for you to do C and D on your own and tell me, are they false? Are they true? If they are false, you need to change that second fraction to make it true. All right, everybody, have a good one. I hope today's math is a simple one and is simple for us to solve. So have a good evening solving these math problems tonight.